Jesse Goldberg-Strassler joined by Marcus Stroman of the Toronto Blue Jays, rehabbing his way back up to the major leagues. Marcus, first time around, you went from Vancouver to AA. You skipped Lansing. Welcome to the Midwest League.
Yeah, man, it's good to be here. I was actually telling someone that it's kind of cool to be here, see a place I never got to experience on the tour up to the big leagues. So looking forward to pitching here and can't wait.
How familiar are you with the players here?
I know some of the guys, you know what I mean? It's hard because obviously organizations are always changing and a lot of new faces, always coming in, coming out. So I know a good group of the guys here, and just from being around spring training and getting to know them around the complex down there. So collectively, it's a good group of guys.
Let's talk about how hard you've worked just to get to this point. After you got the diagnosis about your ACL, what was your timeline?
I can't even put into words, man, how hard I worked. I mean, I really can't. The only one who probably truly knows are the doctors who took care of me down at Duke, and my best friend Ryan, who was with me along the way, who actually were there to see everything that I was actually doing. It was intense, man. It was rugged. It was not enjoyable. I tried to make the best out of it, but going to rehab, sitting there with tears, getting dug on your knee, then going to class and do another training session, night class. It was tough, man. And I faced a lot of adversity, and if I can get through that, you know what I mean, I can get through anything.
How much did you have on your mind?
You know what I mean? I usually keep a pretty clear mind, man. That's one thing I've always been good about. Who I am on social media is exactly who I am in person. You can ask anybody that's close to me and who knows me. So I had my best friend with me, Ryan, with me along every step of the way. So without him there, to be honest with you, it wouldn't have been possible. I don't think so, just because he was there to bring me clothes in between classes and bring me lunch when I had to run to another rehab sesh, or just being there to hang out and have someone to laugh with and chill with, you know what I mean? It would have been unbelievably hard to do that alone. So shout out to my best friend, man, and shout out to my family and friends and everyone who was there behind me.
When did you first realize, hey, I'm ahead of schedule?
When I started reading about ACLs, man, and work ethics, and I know my work ethic, I just put a timetable on it, you know what I mean? I put a realistic timetable in my head. I brought that timetable to the doctors at Duke, and they said, let's do it. And, I mean, every ounce of hard energy, everything you could possibly imagine went into it, and we checked off every single box while graduating school, and I'm in a really good position, man. I'm more confident now than I've ever been.
What did you learn about yourself and your own body through this?
I honestly look at it now, man, as a blessing in disguise, this injury. First off, I had an opportunity to go back to school, which was first and foremost the one thing I wanted to do when I graduated high school, was to get a college degree, and unfortunately I wasn't able to for other circumstances, obviously, but to be able to go back and get my degree, man, that means a lot to me, especially from a school like Duke University. It's incredible, and I just sit there and I think about that I have that scholarship in mind, something that no one can ever take away from you. So, yeah, man.
One of my favorite pictures is you tweeting out, you sitting in class, and at the same time that the professor's teaching, there's the Blue Jays game in front of you. How has this been to watch from afar?
It's tough, man. It's really hard. Incredibly hard. I can't tell you how much you miss the guys, how much you miss the team bond, how much you miss your brothers every single day. It's hard. To be honest with you, I didn't watch every game. It was impossible to watch every game. I always kept in touch. I always obviously knew what was going on. I checked box scores, but to sit there and watch every single game would have been miserable to me. So I watched games here and there. And then obviously I was tweeting out that pick when we got Price, and I was watching him. That was one of his first starts on the Blue Jays. So it's awesome, man. You know what I mean? I was in class. Like, obviously it's not the smart thing to do, but have your game out, because it's kind of rude to the professor. But it was a big moment, and I felt like it was needed.
And then the simulated game, you get a chance, you get back on the mound. How was it?
It was great, man. I feel great. My body feels unbelievable. Knee feels great. I'm just excited, man, to go out there tomorrow, just get acclimated. But my stuff feels great, man. I feel like I'm in mid-season form, and I feel like I'm ready to go out there and dominate.
You got 65 to 70 pitches. What's your plan on how to use them?
Just get all my pitches, man. You know what I mean? I'm not one guy who relies on one pitch. You know what I mean? I have a pretty deep arsenal, so just get all my pitches ready so that they're ready to play at the next level, and to just make sure I'm in the strike zone, make sure doing all the things that I was doing before the injury, you know what I mean? Pounding the zone, no walks, and I'm just looking forward to it, man. It should be fun.
How do you get a pitch ready?
It's tough, man. Everyone's different. Every pitcher's different, you know what I mean? I feel like I have a pretty good feel for pitches. That's one thing I felt like I've always had, is a really good feel to be able to spin the ball. So It's different, man. Everyone gets it ready different. I feel like I always have it in there. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of which one's gonna be better on that day. But feel is definitely something that it's unique to every pitcher.
Speaking with Marcus Stroman, currently with the Lugnuts, about to head his way first to Buffalo and then to Toronto. Tomorrow, take me through your routine. It's game day. You've got the start. What are you going to do after you wake up?
I just keep it casual, man. Probably grab some breakfast with my best friend. Chill, lay low. Probably get a light lunch. Probably end up coming to the yard probably around 3 o'clock, and then just headphones on, just get in the zone, man. Go through my whole routine that the doctors at Duke and the team and the Blue Jays have prepared me with, and go out there and have fun. This is the fun time now, man. People don't realize, like, this is the time. I worked incredibly hard this 4 months, and it was miserable. Not miserable to the point where I didn't enjoy it, but miserable to the point where my body was exhausted, and I exhausted every possibility of getting back. So, and it was all rugged. It wasn't necessarily enjoyable. Now I get to go out there and pitch in a real game. So now this is the fun part. I'm not worried about this. This part will take care of itself.
You came back. You come to a baseball game last night. 3 hours, 44 minutes, and 9 innings.
Yeah.
How about that gift?
It's a long one, man. It's a long one. But you'll have that. You'll have that. You know what I mean? It's just, that's baseball. Baseball's long. You just got to be able to sit there and stay into the game, man. Stay into the game. Stay into it with your teammates and always be there for them. So long inning games, man, build character, and I enjoy them.
Finally, while you were watching baseball, whether it was yesterday in person, whether it was on your computer, was there something you were watching for, something that stuck out to you?
It's hard to not watch the Blue Jays right now. You know what I mean? How exciting the team is, all the trades, and it's just the seasons that everyone on that team's having. You know what I mean? Donaldson, obviously, who's AL MVP hands down. Tulowitzki, who you pick up, Price, who you pick up, Bautista, who's starting to rake, Eddie, who's on a 27-game hit streak, Russell, Goins, who's raking, Pilar, who's making spectacular catches, Revere, who's leading off. Who'd I miss, man? I can't miss any of them. Colabello hitting time after time of homers, Smoke. I mean, man, I'm so in tune with this team, man. It's exciting, man. And obviously the pitchers, too, man. My pops Burley, Marco. I said Price, Hutch, who dealt his last time out. And Dickey, man, who has been Dickey. He's going to give you a solid start every time out there. So, and my boy Sanchez. I mean, everyone, man. Osuna, man. What he's been doing is crazy. I don't think he gets enough praise, man. Osuna, Burley, and Donaldson, man. I don't think those guys get enough praise for what they're doing. Is extremely special this year, man. They need to be put on notice.
Marcus Stroman, thank you for your time.
Absolutely, man.